Thank you once again, Sakya friends, and all the people and translators who have joined me tonight here. Firstly, for maybe um, um, 45 minutes question and answer, and then after that, with short break, we will do the practice of Manjushri with all of you. So thank you once again, and I have received those questions, and there's quite a few questions, and if each of those, some of the questions were to be attempt answered, they are very big questions. So I will first go over some of the uh, questions that relate to the Manjushri practice itself. Firstly, question is, please explain about the 8 offering goddesses and the 5 empowerment deities. Yeah, the the 8 offering goddesses um, and the 5 empowerment deities usually happens in most Vajrayana sadhanas. So the 8 offering goddesses or 8 offerings you should make. You should make 8 offerings to the invoked either the merit field or the 5 empowerment deities. And in both cases, when you invoke them, you have to make the 8 offerings. And the 8 goddesses are part of the 8 offerings. So your offerings are made to either the merit field or to the 5 empowerment deities. So 5 empowerment deities consist of Akshobhya, Verochana, Ratnasambhava, um, Ratnasambhava, and then Amitabha and Amoghasiddhi. These are the 5 Buddha families who are always invited before requesting the empowerment. It is to these 5 Buddhas we make the 8 offerings. The 8 offerings are made through mantra, that is the recitation of the offerings, and then mudra, that is the hand gestures, and then the dhyana, which is the meditative concentration. So the 8 goddesses are related with the hand movement, the mudras. So when you make, say, the actual offering words like the argam, argam is the first offering. That's drinking water, and so when you offer the drinking water mantra argam, and then the mudra, the hand gesture with the 2 middle fingers put through it, and the rest of the hands are in the fist position. So argam, that time you visualize the drinking water goddess, usually a blue goddess carrying a beautiful vase filled with the fresh drinking water. So you visualize, as your hand movement is done this way, you visualize the one offering goddess issue from your heart. Then she multiplies into countless ones and fill the space. And the first offering goddess, drinking water goddess, offer holy water to the 5 empowerment Buddhas through their mouth. And then you say the mantra, and then you visualize that all the Buddhas are pleased by the offerings, and then all of the goddesses absorb back, and then they snap their finger, and these drinking water goddess absorb back into you, and then it blesses you, meaning it quenches your thirst for knowledge, so you become completely watered by the drink of knowledge of the Dharma. So that's the first offering goddess. Second offering goddess is same goddess kind of goddess, but carrying conch shell filled with the sainted water to wash the feet. So for this also you do the mantra is the padyam, and then hand gesture is same with the four fingers protruded, which symbolize pouring the water from the conch shell. So that is offered to the feet of the five Buddhas, and then same number of countless goddesses make the offerings, pour the hot water on the feet, and then as you snap the finger, you visualize the feet washing offering goddess absorb back into you, and then blesses you without any kind of dust of pride, with the knowledge of Dharma that one may have obtained. So with this, and that's your dhyana, concentration. You say the mantra, and you do the movement, and then with the dhyana, with the concentration. And the third offering goddess is a goddess of flower. The flower offering goddess also issues when you do the hand gesture, pushpe, and then pushpe is the flower offering. For that you visualize beautiful goddess carrying a bouquet of lotus flowers, many color goddess, many color flower rather, and then she multiplies as many, fill the whole universe, and then offer the flowers to the head of the five Buddhas, and then she strews the flowers on the head, then all of the goddess absorb into one, and then the last one absorb back into you, and causing all the qualities that you lack are made to blossom as a result of making the offering of flower. Then the fourth offering is the offering of incense. So for that also you do the mantra and mudra, and that mudra is the hand gesture like this, where you touch two hands like this as you're holding a bunch of offering incense, and then smoke color goddess multiplies as the countless ones, and she offers this aroma of incense to the nose of the five Buddhas, and then all of the goddess absorb back into one, and she also absorb back into you, and give you the sanctification of the aroma of sincerity and honesty in your practice and life in general. So the fifth offering goddess is the goddess of lamp. So for that you do the mantra, and the mudra is the thumbs up, both thumbs up, and then you visualize a pink goddess carrying beautiful bright lamp that even sort of outshines the sun, to lit the whole world. She multiplies into countless goddesses, pink goddess carrying lamps, and they offer the lamp to the eyes of the Buddhas, and then they all absorb back into one, and she also absorbs into you, and then giving you the torch of wisdom of discerning the nature of reality as it is, and emptiness of all things. So that's the dhyana, that's the concentration. And the sixth offering goddess is offering goddess of carrying the perfume, and she carries beautiful container filled with perfume. She multiplies into many, fill the universe, and then offers and strews the perfume to the chest of all the five Buddhas, and then all of them absorb back into one, and the last one absorb into you. And when you do the gesture of offering perfume like this, and then you snap the finger, and all the goddess absorb into you, with you, that you are sanctified by the insatiable faith. A reservoir of faith of your mind is completely increased in the Dharma and the Triple Gem. And the seventh offering goddess is a goddess of food. So she offers, as you radiate, a red goddess carrying sumptuous container of food, and she multiplies into countless ones, and then she offers the food to the tongue of all the Buddhas. Then finally all of them absorb in the last one. As you do the hand gesture like this, offering food, nevudi, then all of them absorb back into you, and you are blessed with the great food of meditation. The last offering goddess is a goddess of music. For this, visualize that as you do the hand gestures of the sound, the shabda, the music like this, touching the two forefingers as you're playing it gong. Imagine the goddess carrying, blue goddess carrying, making many orchestra of music made, offering to the ear of all the five Buddhas. Then all the Buddhas are pleased, and then they finally absorb back into one goddess, and she finally absorbs into you, and that gives you the blessed voice of speech, the right speech. You shall never use any harsh speech, but your speech shall become the music. So these are the 8 offering goddesses. The 8 offerings are offering goddesses are associated with these 8 offerings to the when it is made to the 5 Tathagatas or to the general matter field. So as I said, you can see one question can take quite a lot. So that's that question. Second is is how does the lotus appear from the syllable pam, and how the moon also appears from A, and what dimension of emptiness it happens. Well, this is quite a very difficult question, almost impossible to answer. It's like asking, and how does the clouds become rain, and what is the size and volume of the cloud? Can you measure the clouds, and how many buckets of water it produces? So that question is a little bit probably useless question, really. It's just like how does our self becomes this person inside the mother's womb, so these things are a little bit beyond any scope. But fact of the matter is that is the letter pam becomes the lotus. So letter A becomes a mundisk instantaneously. And with dimension wise, of course, lotus is because you visualize yourself as a life Tara, a life, say Manjushri, and then you need to therefore visualize a dimension of a flower, a lotus flower, and a moon disk that will be just right for the size of your own life body. So remember, these things should not be visualized and thought so much in concrete terms, but these are all symbolic of the lotus that is manifesting from the syllable pam is a relative bodhicitta. That's what you need to know more. Not so much get caught up in the physical dimension, size, shape, like that, but rather what it represents. This is just a visual illustration of relative bodhicitta is the lotus arising from the A. Now, if you can explain to me how does the cloud become rain, then you can ask me that question. Otherwise, it's just a bit too not possible to explain how does the pam becomes a lotus. How does A become mundisk? It just means you just have to imagine how does your food turns into blood. Tell me that. So that's too off the point. But generally speaking, remember that lotus represent relative bodhicitta and mundis represent ultimate bodhicitta. You got to remember the symbolism for what it is, rather than asking very kind of a dimension, size. You might even ask for the weight. These things are not really relevant questions. But general symbolism of pam becoming 8-petal lotus is relative bodhicitta. You got to remember that. Oh, what is the 8-petal lotus for? And that's so that you don't forget the relative bodhicitta. And what is the syllable R turning into moon disk 4. That is the ultimate bodhicitta. So just like full moon disk is fully waxed, so should your bodhicitta need to be fully waxed. So that is the main symbolism of these things. I can understand where the question comes from, but remember, don't think about these questions in a concrete physical terms so much, but rather what they represent. What is the quality of lotus? Lotus, even though grows in water or in mud, it is not soiled by neither by the lotus, neither by the soil nor by the mud. Likewise, the one who has bodhicitta motivation, while working with fellow sentient beings, their bodhicitta is not tainted by the soil of selfishness. So that's the meaning of the eight-petal lotus flower. And moon disk represent ultimate bodhicitta, because ultimate bodhicitta is not something that happens instantaneously. Like the full moon, this full moon does not become full moon instantly. It takes time to wax completely. So every 15th of the lunar day, lunar month, then the moon fully waxes. Rest of the other days are slowly waxing. So it takes a lot of merit, accumulation, a lot of merit related to bodhicitta that will therefore slowly enable you to give rise to the ultimate bodhicitta. That is represented by the moon disk, because moon is such a planet from which light comes to the whole world. So likewise, one who has realized ultimate bodhicitta, could have a huge range of including and permeating towards the benefit of all sentient beings. So that's the meaning. And then next question is, please clarify the twin veils mentioned in hymn to Manjushri. Could you please clarify the meaning, devoid of dust or Ravi Raja? Yeah. These two, the two veils is a very important concept. The two veils are, relatively speaking, a gross veil, gross obscuration, and subtle obscuration. The gross obscuration is afflictive and karmic. So all sentient beings have afflictive emotions, and under the sway of the afflictive emotion, then we perform negative deeds. So that's why afflictive emotions causes the person to become unconscious of what he does, what he says, and what he thinks, that are very tainted by the wrong views and obscurations. So therefore, that is the gross obscuration, so gross veil. So the gross, we are in samsara largely because we have this gross obscuration. This gross obscuration is so gross we don't even know that we are deluded, that we have wrong views. We are not even conscious. So that's why it's a very afflictive obscuration. It just intoxicates us to the extent of not knowing what we are doing or saying or thinking that are not useful. So this is a gross enough of veil or obscuration, like a cataract, that you can't see. So when we are so deeply influenced by the stain of afflictive and karmic obscuration, which we call klesha. Klesha means afflictions. So afflictions, all negative karmas are created under the influence of affliction. Like a person who is driving and have an accident, the drinking causes him to have the accident. Likewise, we are having a lot of accident in life, and our accidents are caused by us drinking a lot of obscurations. So that's the first veil. The second veil is the knowledge obscuration. Knowledge obscuration is the cognitive obscuration of grasping to aggregate or name or gender or nationality as me and mine is called cognitive obscuration, because we are clinging to the mere figment of imagination, like you might be called George or Susie. But the Susie is just merely labeled name to you, but yet we do not think that way. We think I am Susie, and if anything is said about Susie, we take too personally, and so we do not. We are cognitively obscured in not knowing that I'm not really Susie. It's merely labeled name. I'm not really German. I'm just merely labeled in relation to distinguish from German to French or French to Japanese. But in reality, these are all mere kind of conventions. But ultimately, I'm not name. I'm not my body. I'm not my feelings. I'm not my nationality or gender. Most people do not even think that they need to think this way. So that because they are so subtly obscured by the knowledge obscuration of not knowing that their knowledge thinking I am German is afflictive obscuration, or I am George, I'm Peter, this is my house. Why did you trespass my house? All these kind of I and me and mine is called knowledge obscuration. Knowledge obscuration is very, very subtle. And most of our suffering comes from knowledge obscuration. It's so subtle that we could not stop it becoming afflictive and karmic, and the sufferings are consummated. Our sufferings are created under these two veils. One is the afflictive and one is the cognitive. So when we practice sadhanas like Manjushri, and we stay put, sit upright, and do our practice regularly, we're trying to become conscious of the gross obscuration. And if we are able to recognize our own flows more frequently, then the need to look out for other people's flow, we might be becoming a little bit more cognizant of our own gross veil of obscuration. Because we can tell I'm angry, I'm judgmental, I am demanding, I'm impatient. So when you can see that, then you are able to see your afflictive obscuration in operation. So becoming aware of your own afflictive obscuration is a good start to be able to have because wisdom, the wisdom of Manjushri. Your question is, the second part of the question is devoid of dust, So we should not be tainted by the dust. We shouldn't be covered under the dust of affliction and karmic habits and addiction to them, and addiction to self. I am this, I am that. So right now we are covered in the dust of these kind of obscurations. So through Manjushri's practice, the whole idea of developing wisdom, not only relative truth, but also an ultimate truth, then we are able to remove the obscuration, because obscurations themselves, veils themselves, do not independently exist. They are only relatively existing, but they are impermanent, and we can make them less operative so that we do not become harmed by this. So that's the that one, and the next question is, says, I don't know whether to read the sadhana in the Tibetan or in my native language. You don't have a sadhana in Tibetan unless you are Tibetan. You can read Tibetan, so we haven't given you one Tibetan sadhana. You best to read in the language that you receive the translation of. When contemplating the syllable, for example, the syllable pam, we should meditate on its Tibetan picture or pam written according to the alphabet system of our language. Well, ideally the syllables pam should be visualized in Sanskrit. What you're seeing is the actually Sanskrit, but written in Tibetan script. Tibetan script was invented by modeling on the Sanskrit. So because of that, Tibetan syllables are very near perfect to the Sanskrit, because it has the root letter and then has a crescent and the droplet and the tail on every letter that has got an at the end. Whereas in English or in other most Indo-European languages, when you write, you don't have that. So you just write a pam or something, P-A-M. It hasn't got the root letter, it hasn't got the crescent, it hasn't got a droplet. So that's why seed syllables should be visualized in Tibetan, because Tibetan is only the script, but the actual sound is Sanskrit. So that's why quite a lot of people realize when they do the Vajrayana deity yoga sadhanas, they need to become familiar with the seed syllables, preferably in the original Tibetan script, which is Sanskrit. So, that's, there is a lot of reason in the long term. Temporarily, it might be easier to visualize in your own language, but ultimately, your own language, the seed syllable should be visualized in Sanskrit. The Tibetan one is Sanskrit, Tibetanized Sanskrit. It is not Tibetan. It is Tibetanized Sanskrit. So I would urge. That's why people should learn at least to recognize a couple of half a dozen seed syllables. Okay. The seed syllable, by the way, is a kind of is emptiness transformed into seed syllable, and because emptiness becomes seed syllable, and then seed syllable becomes later on the lotus, or the home becomes a deity, or whatever the case might be. So seed syllable is a seed of becoming enlightened one. So that's seed syllable. And then we have another question. Could you please explain in detail the visualization of 4-point Vajra chakra in the sadhana? 4-point Vajra chakra is basically is a four-spoked wheel. There are 4 spokes. Otherwise, is a wheel of Dharma. You can call it wheel of Dharma, and it has 4 spokes. And on the tip of the spokes are the letters Ra, Pa, Cha, Na. So because it says in the text that you visualized 4-spoked wisdom chakra on a moon disc. To the right center is the syllable D. To the left of that is A. And so then Ra is A in the front, and then Pa is on the right, Cha is on the back, and then Na on the left. So this is like a 4-spoked wheel. I think hopefully that will do for the visualization. Next question is, what are the colors of the letters that transform into flower and a disc on which Manjushri is? The color of flower you visualize. If you visualize a multicolor flower, it's a multicolor flower. The moon disc or sun disc, moon disc is white, sun disc is red. So it's all logical there. So whatever you are creating the disc of, if a sun disc is always yellow, if it's a moon disc is always white, if it's a lotus, and the lotus could be multicolored. So that's really to your whatever imagination you are able to do. The next question is, when practicing sadhana, there are times when the bells are used. I don't know what to do. I hope Rinpoche will give specific instructions. Actually, you do not use your bell, play your bell at all in the sadhana. It says you can. It says that you do the music, but it's all done in hand gestures. Just the mudra like this. When you say music, shabda, you just do this. But you actually don't play the bell at all, nor use the vajra during the sadhana. In the rituals and empowerment, you use them, but in the sadhana, you don't use the bell and the vajra at all. You can have them in front of you, placed just in case, but there is no time in the sadhana that you actually need to ring the bell at all, even though it says argam padam pushpe dupe aloke, again the nividi shabda music, but you actually do not play the bell, ring the bell at all. So there is no requirement for you to ring the bell. Okay, and then the next question is how to visualize perfection phase. I know the world dissolve into Manjushri body, then Manjushri dissolve into mantra wheel, and then the mantra wheel into the C syllable D. But how to visualize the perfection phase of syllable D? Well, firstly, we don't call this so much of a perfection phase because this is Kriya Tantra Sadhana. Kriya Tantra Sadhana doesn't have a literal zorim or and the completion phase. But you always do the dissolution. You always dissolve the syllable, all the mantra rosary into the syllable itself dissolve, lower part of the syllable D into the top bar into the he, the vowel, which is top on the hook, and then it vanished totally. So it just, you just have to use your imagination how a D looks like. You've got to be firstly familiar with the syllable D, and then you just slowly make them vanish from the lower to the middle to the top. It vanishes. So it is a kind of a mini sort of a, I would say, mini kind of a yeah perfection phase, but there is no actual completion stage or perfection phase in Kriya Tantra sadhanas. It's simply to visualize the gradual dissolution of something, you know. That's that. What are the colors of letter that transform into? I think we covered that. And then next question is, could you please talk in depth about the three great bodhisattvas, the Lord of wisdom, compassion, and power? Also, why are they taken out of the eight great ones? Now, the three bodhisattvas are the representation of all the Buddha's wisdom and compassion and power. It is not so much they are taken out of the eight. These three bodhisattvas, bodhisattva of wisdom is Manjushri, bodhisattva of compassion is Avalokitesha, bodhisattva of power is Vajrapani. So these three, but this doesn't mean each of them are individually one more wisdom, then other more compassion, other more power. Doesn't mean each of them outwardly represent this, but deep down they do not differ at all. So therefore, the three bodhisattvas are the you can receive all three bodhisattvas as the three race of all the Buddhas. So this, but if not only these are three bodhisattvas, but we all have to develop these three qualities. The three quality of wisdom, like the omniscient. If you don't know the nature of all things about all sentient beings, you do really not know what is compassion. So when you have knowledge and compassion back to one by one to each other, vice versa, the knowledge of knowing the ultimate reality makes oneself to feel saddened by the plight of sentient beings who, due to lack of the knowledge, and then they are grasping to name and aggregate as self and permanent and real and truly, and then they create the very suffering to themselves consciously. And so therefore, wisdom of knowing the ultimate truth enable us to have great compassion to sentient beings, have the very great compassion to sentient beings. And not only we have wisdom and compassion, but also the Vajrapani represent the power that will not be intimidatable by its antitheses, but one actually have the ability to destroy all the wrong views and suffering caused by the wrong views, because one uses the power of vanquishing the wrong fallacious views. And so it is the wrong view that is the cause of suffering. If you have the power of knowledge, which is the real power, and power of compassion, then you can actually vanquish the wrong view. So the real power is the right view and compassion together. When compassion of Avalokiteshvara and the wisdom of Manjushri is combined, then you will definitely have the Vajrapani-like power to overwhelm the suffering and their causes. So all in all, a Manjushri practice is the embodiment of all the wisdom. And if you have wisdom, then you will have the great power to survey the plight of sentient beings, orphan-like sentient beings who lack wisdom, and therefore they are languishing in samsara of the suffering they themselves have created unconsciously. So your compassion is much more powerful when you have wisdom of knowing all things as they are. When you have both compassion and wisdom, then you are indomitable. Then you are Vajrapani. So Vajrapani is not some kind of separate bodhisattva. Vajrapani is the unification of Manjushri and Avalokiteshvara. With this kind of double duo, with this duo of infinite wisdom and compassion, then you have the power. And this power is the power to vanquish inner enemies. And that's the real power. So with this, I think we are about to conclude the question and answer. So yeah, question and answer, and we will have 10 minutes break there, and then after that we will resume to do the actual practice of Manjushri. So thank you very much, everyone. So let's give at least 10 minutes break to our translators. Sorry if I have been still very fast, but I will slowly learn to slow down. Slowly learn to slow down. Thank you very much. Now, welcome everyone. Now we are going to do the Manjushri Sadhana, which will be screen shared. So I'm waiting for that. Then after the sadhana, I will do the lung of the sadhana and long Manjushri Dharani as requested. So first of all, as usual, please take a good seat, sit still, and generate a great devotion. Rejoice that we have the good karma and dharma to practice together, and that you are so devoted to give your time, and rejoice all other dharma brothers and sisters' participation. So we will first of all visualize on top of your crown. You should visualize Manjushri on top of your crown. So sometimes you can either visualize the the deity, the Manjushri, or the Lord family. So here I suggest you just visualize Manjushri, feel the holy presence on top of a crown, sit still, and then we will do the supplication to the lineage gurus so that we have a good mind that really have faith and renunciation and bodhicitta and the wisdom to make the right thought, choice of right thought, right words, right deeds, and so that we have with a little bit of touch of wisdom in everyday situation without reactive and without doing it too restless and too demanding. We can pause for a cause and we will have clarity of mind. We ask for that. So that's why each of the lineage guru prayer verse finishes saying, "To you all I pray." What we are praying to the lineage gurus is so that we have this clarity of our mind. So with this in mind, we will slowly read through the lineage guru prayer. Can we now do the screen share? Thank you. So join your hands at the heart. I will not do the chanting in kind of a tune because I don't know how it will work, but I'll slowly read through the translation. Stable wheel of great Saint Jatari, Lalita Vajra, Amoga Vajra, Parilotsa, Manjushri's glory, Kunga Nyingbo, to you all I pray. Sonam Tsemo, Lord Trakpa Gyaltsen, Manjushri Lord Sakya Pandita, Lord of the speech, Galo and his heir, Trakpa Singhe, to you all I pray. Sonam Gyansen, Lord Panden Sultrim, Ishe Gyansen, Ngorchen Dorje Chang, Regent Kuwang, Yongzen Konchok Pel, Konchok Hundrub, to you all I pray. Namka Pasang and Sonam Lundrup, Ngawang Tendor, Lord Sonam Tenzin, Tashi Panden, Lord Kungarenchen, Sangye Punso, to you all I pray. Sonam Panden, Lord Panden Chokyong, Rinchen Chodub, Namka Chime Pal, Kunga Tenzin, Lord of all knowing, to root lineage gurus I pray. By power of the offering sincere prayer, until essence of body is reached, may all beings obtain precious rebirth, find pious friend and Dhamma's doctrine. Ripen my mind stream through empowerment, sowing profound blessings of mantra, may I see Manjushri's calming face. Receive blessings of nectar of speech. Promise moral conduct remains pure, faith, detachment, bodhicitta firm. May I reveal store of confidence, sharp, swift, depth, and clarity's wonder. On the tree of study and knowledge blossom the lotus of pure thinking, laden with meaning, fruits bountiful, fall the gifts of benefit and good. Composition enriched with sweet words, precious food for thought with good meaning. Writings garland adorn Buddha's way, remains firmly till existence ends. With the knowledge of all doctrines' way, refute wrong views, careful use of words, captivate all those who through learned teaching may attain stage of Lord of speech. Knowing things direct and through inference, with skill remove thorns of the wrong views. Victor in the art of debating, may good fame spread three worlds all over. Seeing reality of all things dissolve in the realm of peace divine, knowing and known, one tastes Manjushri, blessed with wealth of insight in this life. So that concludes the invocation of Lineage Guru prayer. Now to do the actual sadhana, you have to first visualize the refuge tree in the space before you. Manjushri, who is the embodiment of the Buddha's body, and the Buddha's speech and mind, or the triple gem. His form is Sangha, his speech is Dhamma, his mind is the Guru, and the Buddha, hence Manjushri himself, that you visualize the space before facing towards you is the refuge object whose holy presence captivates your renunciation, faith, and compassion to fellow sentient beings. With this in mind, we will now imagine that we are accompanied by your father on your right, mother on the left, and all sentient beings together, joining their hands at the heart and very still, very sincere, with a very serene attention, we are going to take a refuge. So we can now scroll down the refuge prayer. In the most holy Guru, who is the quintessence and deeds of the Buddhas, deeds of the body, voice, and mind of all Tathagatas, abide in the 10 directions and 3 times, souls of the 84,000 doctrines and the master of noble assemblies, I and all living beings, equal to the bound space, from this time forth until the essence of enlightenment is reached. We steadfastly take refuge in the Venerable Root Guru and the Holy Master Lineage. Take refuge in Blessed Accomplished Buddhas. Take refuge in the Holy Teaching. Take refuge in Noble Assembly. We steadfastly take refuge in the Venerable Root Guru and the Holy Master Lineage. Take refuge in Blessed Accomplished Buddhas. Take refuge in Holy Teaching. Take refuge in Noble Assembly. We steadfastly take refuge in the Venerable Holy Root Guru and the Holy Master of the Lineage. We take refuge in Blessed Accomplished Buddha. We take refuge in Holy Teaching. We take refuge in Noble Assemblies. We take refuge in the Venerable Root Guru and the Holy Master Lineage. We take refuge in Blessed Accomplished Buddha. We take refuge in Holy Teaching. We take refuge in Noble Assemblies. We take refuge in the Venerable Root Guru and Holy Master Lineage. We take refuge in Blessed Accomplished Buddhas. We take refuge in Holy Teaching. We take refuge in Noble Assemblies. We take refuge in the Venerable Root Guru and Holy Master Lineage. We take refuge in Blessed Accomplished Buddhas. We take refuge in Holy Teaching. We take refuge in Noble Assemblies. We take refuge in the Venerable Root Guru and Holy Master Lineage. We take refuge in Blessed Accomplished Buddhas. We take refuge in Holy Teaching. We take refuge in Noble Assemblies. We take refuge in the most holy Venerable Root Guru and Holy Master Lineage. We take refuge in Blessed Accomplished Buddha. We take refuge in Holy Teaching. We take refuge in Noble Assemblies. We take refuge in Venerable Root Guru and Holy Master Lineage. We take refuge in Blessed Accomplished Buddha. We take refuge in Holy Teaching. We take refuge in Noble Assemblies. We take refuge in the Venerable Root Guru and Holy Master Lineage. We take refuge in Blessed Accomplished Buddha. We take refuge in Holy Teaching. We take refuge in Noble Assemblies. We take refuge in the most venerable Holy Guru and Holy Master's Lineage. We take refuge in Besa Kambi Buddha. We take refuge in holy teaching. We take refuge in noble assembly. We take refuge in the most holy venerable Guru and holy master lineage. We take refuge in Besa Kambi Buddha. We take refuge in holy teaching. We take refuge in noble assemblies. We take refuge in the most holy venerable Guru and holy master lineage. We take refuge in Besa Kambi Buddha. We take refuge in holy teaching. We take refuge in noble assembly. We take refuge in the most holy venerable Guru and holy master lineage. We take refuge in Besa Kambi Buddha. We take refuge in holy teaching. We take refuge in noble assemblies. We take refuge in the most holy venerable Guru and holy master lineage. We take refuge in Besa Kambi Buddha. We take refuge in holy teaching. We take refuge in noble assemblies. We take refuge in the most holy venerable Guru and holy master lineage. We take refuge in Besa Kambi Buddha. We take refuge in holy teaching. We take refuge in noble assemblies. We take refuge in the most holy venerable Guru and holy master lineage. We take refuge in Besa Kambi Buddha. We take refuge in holy teaching. We take refuge in noble assemblies. We take refuge in the most holy venerable Guru and holy master lineage. We take refuge in Besa Kambi Buddha. We take refuge in holy teaching. We take refuge in noble assemblies. We take refuge in venerable Guru and holy master lineage. We take refuge in Besa Kambi Buddha. We take refuge in holy teaching. We take refuge in noble assembly. We take refuge in the venerable Guru and holy master lineage. We take refuge in Besa Kambi Buddha. We take refuge in holy teaching. We take refuge in noble assembly. We take refuge in most holy venerable Guru and holy master lineage. We take refuge in Besa Kambi Buddha. We take refuge in holy teaching. We take refuge in noble assemblies. We take refuge in most venerable Guru and holy master lineage. We take refuge in Besa Kambi Buddha. We take refuge in holy teaching. We take refuge in noble assembly. We take refuge in most venerable Guru and holy master lineage. We take refuge in holy teaching. But as a good Buddhist, we take refuge in holy teaching. We take refuge in noble assembly. For the sake of all sentient beings, us must attain the stage of perfect enlightened one. For that purpose, I practice the recitation and meditation of Lord Manjushri. For the sake of all sentient beings, I must attain stage of perfect enlightened one. For that purpose, I practice this recitation and meditation of the Lord Manjushri. For the sake of all sentient beings, I must attain the stage of perfect enlightened one. For that purpose, I practice this recitation and meditation of Lord Manjushri. In one's heart is a moon disk, upon which is an orange syllable D, from which light rays issue to invoke the Lord Manjushri, who is not different from one's Guru. He is surrounded by assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Om Vajrayana. Namo Guru Be, Namo Arya Manjushri Be. Om Arya Manjushri Zabare Vare Araiga. Om Arya Manjushri Zabare Vare Baide. Om Arya Manjushri Sabare Vare Pushpa. Om Arya Manjushri Sabare Vare Dube. Om Arya Manjushri Sabare Vare Aloge. Om Arya Manjushri Sabare Vare Gande. Om Arya Manjushri Sabare Vare Navidya. Om Arya Manjushri Sabare Vare Shada. In the Triple Gem, I take refuge and confess all sins individually. I rejoice in the virtue deeds of all beings and keep in mind the enlightenment of all the Buddhas. In the Buddha, Dharma, and excellent assembly, I take refuge till enlightenment reach. In order to accomplish my own others' aim, I produce the excellent enlightenment thought, invite all beings. I practice the pleasing and excellent conduct of the enlightened ones, dedicate the merit so that all beings may achieve enlightenment. In the triple gem, I take refuge and confess all sins individually. I rejoice in the virtuous deeds of all beings and keep in mind the enlightenment of all the Buddhas. In Buddha, Dharma, and excellent assembly, I take refuge until enlightenment reach. In order to accomplish my own and others' aim, I produce the excellent enlightenment thought and invite all beings. I practice the pleasing and excellent conduct of the enlightened ones and dedicate the merit so that all beings may achieve enlightenment. In the triple gem, I take refuge and confess all sins individually. I rejoice in the virtue deeds of all beings and keep in mind the enlightenment of all the Buddhas. In Buddha, Dharma, and excellent assembly, I take refuge until enlightenment reach. In order to accomplish my own and others' aim, I produce the excellent enlightenment thought and invite all beings. I practice the pleasing and excellent conduct of enlightened ones and dedicate the merit so that all beings may achieve enlightenment. May all beings have happiness and the cause of happiness. May they be free from sorrow and the cause of sorrow. May they know a power from the happiness that knows no suffering. May they dwell in equanimity, free from attachment, aversion, and those near and far. Here now the main meditation begins. First one should, as we recite the mantra, visualize your ordinary body, your name, your karma, your habits, your feelings, your emotions, your memories. All of these vanish tracelessly. So you dissolve into the pool of luminosity and stay in that state for a few moments without contriving or trying to do anything. Simply let the mind subconsciously take notice of its own infinite luminosity. Om Osva Bhava Juda Saravaya Andarama Asva Bhava Judoham. One's heart is like an empty egg. Within it from Pam arises lotus, and from this arises mundus. Upon this is the syllable D, brilliant orange like the color of a burnished gold. Light is issued from thee, dispelling the darkness of ignorance of all sentient beings and placing them in the light of the real transcendental knowledge. The blessings of qualities such as compassion, knowledge, pride, and unimpaired memory, and the like of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions are gathered in the form of orange light and absorb into the D in one's heart. From the complete transformation of this syllable, one manifests as the Blessed One, Lord Manjushri, whose body is orange like a young saffron, with one face and 2 hands. His right hand holds a flaming sword of wisdom. His left hand holds the stem of an utpala flower at his heart, which blooms at his left shoulder. Upon this rests a text of the Prajaparamitra Sutra. His hair hangs down on the left, and he wears a jeweled head ornament, necklace, and a skirt of multicolored silk. He appears as a 16-year-old youth seated in the Vajra position. He is the nature of the light shining like a moon's image, dancing on water, and there is a moon disk behind his head. On his forehead is a white Om on a moon disk. At his throat a red R on a lotus, and on his heart a blue Hung on a sun disk. In the center of his heart, just below the Hung, is a yellow four-spoked wisdom chakra on a moon disk. In the right of the center is a D, to the left is an R, and at the tip of the spokes are Ra at the front, and going clockwise Pa, Cha, and Na. Light rays issue from this D to invoke from his natural abode the Lord Manjushri, surrounded by assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Om Vajra Zamanja Om Vaho. They are non-duly absorbed into oneself in the form of Manjushri. Again, light rays issue from the seed syllable in the heart D to invoke the deities of consecration with their retinues. Om Vajra Zamanja Om Avishinja Doma Om Vajra Baba Avishinja Hung. As one speaks, the five deities of consecration, Akshobhya, etc., bestow consecration by pouring water from consecrated vase upon the crown of one's head. One's body is filled with consecrated water, and all defilements are purified. Water overflows at the top of one's head, and one's head is adorned by Akshobhya. So now from here onwards is the visualization of the mantra recitation. Light rays now issue from the wisdom chakra and the mantra rosaries in one's heart, removing all the impurities of sins, obscuration, evil deeds, and ignorance of all sentient beings who assume the form of Manjushri. All the knowledge, love, and wisdom of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, having arisen in the form of yellow light, is absorbed into the letters of the wisdom chakra, thus blessing one's mind stream. Om Mara Bhajanadi, 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 Amara 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 Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Bazana Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Amara Bazana de 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 Amara Amara Bazana de 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 Amara 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 Bazanadi 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 Amara Bazanadi. No, above that there is upon one's tongue towards the back lies an orange syllable D with the head backwards. From this syllable light rays issue forth. Imagine that all faults and failings of our speech are thereby purified. So with this in mind we recite the D in one breath. O Blessed One, having cleared away all sins, obscurations, and the darkness of delusions from myself and all sentient beings, please bestow blessings so that the special wisdom of the realization of selflessness may arise in our mind's dream. Omaya Manjushri Sabare Vare Aragam Badizao Omaya Manjushri Sabare Vare Pandya Omaya Manjushri Sabare Vare Pushbao Omaya Manjushri Sabare Vare Andubao Omaya Manjushri Sabare Vare Alogeo Omaya Manjushri Sabare Vare Gandeo Omaya Manjushri Sabare Vare Navideo Omaya Manjushri Sabare Vare Shadao. I prostrate to him who possesses the body of a youth, Manjushri, who clears away the darkness of the three realms and who causes the lamps of transcendental knowledge to burn brightly in our hearts. I pay homage to the Guru, protector of Manjushri. He whose wisdom shines like the sun, unclouded by the twin veils, with most perfect clarity sees all things as they are, and so on his heart he holds a book. Those who are in the prison of the world, bewildered in the darkness of ignorance, oppressed by sorrows, to all the crowds of perpetual wanderers, loving is he as to an only son. Possessing 60 tones, his voice like roaring, like dragon roaring, waking beings from the sleep of ignorance, and freeing us from the iron chains of karma. He dispels the darkness of ignorance and hews down suffering wherever there is a sprout, with the sword of transcendental wisdom. Pure from the beginning, having gone to the 10 stages end, and perfected the body of virtues, the foremost one, son of the victorious one, whose form is adorned with ornaments 10 times 10 and 12, makes clear our minds in darkness. Manjushri, to you I bow down. With the brilliance of your wisdom, O compassionate one, illumine the darkness of ignorance, enclosing my mind. Enlighten my intelligence and wisdom, so that I may gain insight into the Buddha's words and the texts, explain them. By this virtue, having attained the stage of the Lord Manjushri, may I quickly place all sentient beings, without exception, upon his stage. So that concludes the Manjushri Sadhana practice. Now I will do the oral transmission of this sadhana once again in Tibetan. So you just it won't take very long, for a little while. O Namoria la kedan ludan jinge tukunda da me kenan da ro kunje dan tamje ke do da ke chu zun do ji zun jambe ya araba ze do da lun be se ji jing ze je wa ju do namongur manzu na da ya jab zun ngon don de ran ge ning gan de jing go je lo ze ramani ze me be ji zun jambe ya san ji zun zo yo go ban za sam namongur be namon ban zun go ja ya argan ba den bu ben de be alo gen gen de ne Shabda Gonjo Zumla Soba Len Zumza Tsemeshi Gongrangi Ninga Dongbado Nando Riel Urjanangi Mumbata Tamaji Lu Seja O Lu Seja Omasumba Shito Zawada Masumba Dombenga La Pan Bemada and the Vijingo Jin Riel Sezaman Dojan Tele Zimjan Tamji Mishibi Mombasa Yanda Yishi Yanawa Lako Choju Sanji Juzama Tiara Chelani Dutamji Dunarang Ransem de la tem de yonzo jiwala ranye paban jambe mase kondo kurgun shonun dojen sha chi cha nipa yebe mi shiba chubra chebe shirab yira rinzi yombe obale yuwa tukra zune nyenje teka kachewe dena shirab ji paro do chimbe likban zimba shabdo je kirung he shuba rinpoche gendan taji doyo dan chanda je rewe sobu nga yondo chanwa shonu lo churu lomba dewe nyanjan dewe jingo Yabden Vajrayana Chite Om Dimra Toga David de Sherajin Kola Ziva Servo Deva Yesu Di Yondu A Zim Dune Yego de Barabazana Nebandi Dele Vazajivaran Jinin Jizun Jambe San Jesus Zuko Benza Saman Zambo Nizum the Lion Togon the Wangelan Kodan Benza Saman Zamba Vigenza Duma Wangelan Namji Om Benza Vigenza Jesu Bibango Guatama Chulama Yalubal Mejibu Jirangi Ninga Nishira Jinkolonga Dinda Jebala Zed Semje Tamji Dide Lenge Dimoge Tamajan Jamba Yeku Gurju Lama Yedan Sanje Jansenji Janju Semben Jensen Nudu Nudu Tamjanga Dinda Zamaraba number Yunde Shirab Jinkolo Indula Timbe to Yu Chinjela Samla Omara Bazana Jimanda De Rangi Jedinga Mazengo Dezo Nevala Nyado Nevala Zerjiveran Nimagi Nigu Tamje Bama something Udo Jilandi Ten Se Jo Jumden Dalsim Tamji Digdi Mishi Mumbasan Dame Dove Shira Jiva Jula Zedozo Manzush Ayamanzushi Sabariva Argan Badin Biben Tuba Alok Eden Yada Kangalo Dunyan Raza Dongaji Yadu Alevaza Kadase Zara Marimundo Dongaji Rozokola Bujeta Lado Ruda Jedani Monila Legi Jara Ranza Marimaza Dongani Jara and Donata Jazo and Dendal Juda Junior Dala Mezan Jabala, the Concept of the Bon, Jose Devadona and Compoja came here by Antoya and Jera was a dollar de Mombaraz and Cotton Tension Lord Bavana Shevesela Mendavani Shilla Mendavana Jambe Lazavada to the Juaja Mother, Jim Lagi Lama Choedak Rinpoche, Jaya Baba Jiva, Jina Jiva, Lagi Nila Juji, Donga Baza, Yende Bedmo Ganjan, Yande, Ila Rinto, there was a Gavandi, and you don't jump and do you and Razi Yama. Dea Zala Anga Bara, Dea Zala Anga Bara Jo. So now the long Dharani. Namo Manjushri Kumara Bara Kumara Buddha and Bodhisattvas Maha Karunika Tadyada Omaranza Biranza Shuddha Bishuddha Shodaya Bishuddha Amale Bimale Nirmale Zaya Ware Ruruzale Hong 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 Pe 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 Zo Sonam Dia Damje Zebanya Domnanya Bedanam Pamjana Jagana Jabalandu Sibe Zolando Wando Wara. So everyone, that concluded our Manjushri Sadhana practice. And so just to know that I have been asked to bestow the white umbrella goddess empowerment and towards the end of this month, and that is very much a practice associated with the Avalokiteshvara, but particularly to avert obstacles, severe obstacles in your life, such as malice, people who are doing harmful things to you, and a bad name, and people who are putting spite and scorning you, and backbiting you, and have malice towards you, and we should not retaliate them with such things. But if you practice this goddess, the white umbrella practice, it says that all the obstacles, mutual obstacles that are created will be compassionately purified. So that is the relationship between the white umbrella goddess with Avalokiteshvara, practice of compassion. In our everyday life, even whatever difficulties you have with people who you have helped a lot, but you're doing something totally against you, ungratefully or unashamedly, we should not take offense to them, but we should put them under the protective umbrella of compassion, that they are suffering with ill will and resentment and these things due to us. Whatever things we did not do right to their perception, we should forgive them and not harbor any ill will towards them. That is real practice of Buddha Dharma. And the Bodhisattva's way of life is to not insult the insulter, not abuse the abuser, not retaliate the one who harms, but use their negative action as a cause to instantly open open your umbrella, so that you are not you are protected from the wrong views and ill will. If you do ill will, that will bring many harms. So all the harmful things that your life's going through are caused by your ill will and resentment. And white umbrella practice is to help us to put ourselves and others in the cool shade of compassion. So that is related with the goddess Sitata Patra, the white umbrella goddess empowerment that I will be doing later this month. Now that's all. Thank you very much for your patience and dedication. And thank you for all our translators and all the people at the Sakya Friends doing this work so hard and so genuinely for the benefit of Dharma. And when we have Dharma, we understand our mind and we can see clearly how we can change. And this is how these teachings and practice are facilitated for this reason. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to offer these small office or services, and may you all be guarded with the mindfulness of the qualities of the Dharma and the Buddha and the Sangha. So that's all. Thank you very much, everyone, and good night, and see you next time.